There's a saying in the historic preservation field, the greenest building is the one you don't build. And that philosophy informs giving LEED credit for existing buildings and preferring that over tearing them down and building new. Well, here is a related idea. The cleanest energy is the energy you don't use. And so this leads us to the idea of energy efficiency, which is essentially free energy. When you are planning for energy efficiency, you follow methodical steps, and these are the classic steps in a planning process or problem-solving process. Whatever you're doing, you can do these steps in an energy efficiency project too. The first step is to evaluate existing conditions. You need to know where you are before you can make a plan to set some goals and figure out what to do. So to analyze the existing conditions, you do an energy audit. Then you think about, well, what solutions can we propose? They range from small scale, for example, plug loads. Plug loads are loads from freestanding devices that are plugged into the wall. So that could be space heaters, computers, desk lamps, all kinds of stuff like that. You could also look at lighting upgrades. So could you replace fluorescent lights with LED lights? You could look at HVAC, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning equipment. Can you do some upgrading there? Another category of energy efficiency involves the users themselves. And as we know, all these energy efficiency strategies don't mean much if the users don't change their behavior. So maybe we need to think about some programs to help people think about power use. Maybe they could turn off their computer at night before they go home. Maybe they could turn off the lights when they're not in the room, that kind of thing. Oh, maybe they could set their thermostat lower. And then after we've done all this sort of stuff, we might move on to big scale projects, the building envelope, the roof, floor, walls, and windows, or some large-scale HVAC upgrades. And then O&M stands for operation and maintenance. There are these three puzzle pieces that you might use in an energy efficiency program: an energy audit, commissioning, measurement, and verification. And these all involve collecting data and making measurements. An energy audit is where you figure out how is your building using energy and how much is it using, and maybe you want to figure out where is it losing energy. In a house, energy audits are typically done for free by your local utility. The utility will employ an energy analyst who comes out and does this for you. In a commercial building, this will typically be done either by an energy analyst that works for the company or by a separate auditing firm, and then they'll issue a written report. Commissioning, I believe we have talked about before when we talked about LEED. Commissioning is required by LEED, and it's that process of verifying that the building does what the designer said it would do. So you may have grand ideas and write them on your drawing, but that doesn't mean anything unless the building actually performs the way you think it will. So that's what commissioning does. It's a specialty within the architectural and engineering trades and AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction trades. It's a specialty, and it's a methodical process. A measurement and verification plan is kind of similar. It's a way to verify that whatever energy efficiency measures you instituted are actually paying off the way you thought. And you can get a lead point for your project if you have an M&V plan. If you ask for a lead point for M&V, your plan has to follow this particular protocol that the Department of Energy put together. So you can't make up your own, you have to follow their protocol. Finally, in a commercial building, there's an interesting idea called an ESCO, which stands for Energy Services Company. If you want to reduce your energy use, you can hire this ESCO and you pay them a monthly fee. And they do all these kinds of energy efficiency tasks, the energy audits, the commissioning. They identify energy efficiency measures and get them installed. They do the M&V verification. And because they're doing all that, the owner saves money on their energy bill. And they use part of the money that they saved on their energy bill to pay the ESCO's monthly fee. So it's kind of a win-win. The owner doesn't have to cough up separate money. They're saving more than they pay the ESCO. The ESCO gets paid on a regular basis. The owner gets energy upgrades, and their utility bill is lower, and so everybody's happy.